Hello, children. A warm welcome to our English class and a very good morning. Are you all ready with your English textbooks? If not, open. Before going into the today's topic, let's have a quick recap of what we have seen in the yesterday's session. We have learned about verbs, right? We have verbs as two types. What are they? Finite and non-finite verbs. What are finite verbs, children? Finite verbs change their form person, number and tense. Means finite verbs change their form according to the subject and tense. The subject can be person or a number. Person means first person, second person, third person. Number means singular or plural. So the verb changes depending on these subject and tense. Whereas non-finite verbs, it doesn't change their form according to the subject. It remains the same. Again, these non-finite verbs are of three types. First one, infinitives, participles, gerunds. What are infinitives, children? How to identify infinitive verbs? Infinitive verbs are 2 plus verb. So wherever you see 2 plus verb in a sentence, simply you can say that as infinitive verb. Participles. Participles are of two types. Present participle, past participle, right? Present participle ends with ing form. Past participle ends with ed or en form, right? Next, gerunds. Gerunds are those verbs which acts as adjectives in the noun. Gerunds are those verbs which describes the sentence and the verb acts as a noun in the sentence. Usually, gerunds end with verb plus ing. We have seen few finite and non-finite verbs between the sentences, right? Let us have the quick recap of the story also. Jennie was a little Scottish girl who lived among the highlands, and Jennie's mother used to spin and weave beautiful cloth on the looms, and Jennie's father used to rear sheep, right? And Jennie was gifted with a necklace which is made of amber beads on her 12th birthday by her grandmother. So this story is all about Jennie's amber beads. We have seen how those amber beads are. And Jennie's grandfather, how he got those beads. He got those beads from the wreck, right? Wreck of a ship. Wreck means parts of a ship that has been destroyed or has sunk at sea. Jennie's grandfather had carved out those beads carefully and gifted to his wife on their wedding. She wore that necklace for many years and she left it for her granddaughter. Jennie used to admire that necklace. By looking at it, she was surprised how these insects got inside the stone. We have seen how the Scotland was before. So Jennie started looking further in the books, right? So she got more before human beings appeared on this earth. Scottish Highlands pine tree. From that pine tree, yellow gums to flow. and that fragrant. We have seen the story till here, right? So this is the pine tree where you can see the yellow gum which is flowing from the trunk of the tree. If you observe, the yellow gum is shining, right? This gum has the fragrance which the amber beads has in it. We have seen in the first page, right? When we rub those amber beads, it used to spread its fragrance all over the things which are around us. So that fragrance comes from this gum. This gum has that kind of fragrance. Now let us see how the insects are being embedded inside this. Thousands of little insects fluttered about it in the warm sunshine. Here, fluttered means the insects, they used to fly in the warm sunshine. They were attracted by its pleasant smell. So the insects were attracted by the pleasant smell which comes out from that yellow gum. Perhaps too by its taste. Not only by the pleasant smell, they used to get attracted by its taste also. Once they alighted upon it, they stuck fast and could not get away. The great yellow drops. So once they alighted upon it. Alighted means once the insect came down and sat upon that gum, they stuck fast and could not get away. Stuck fast means they stuck firmly. They got stick in that gum firmly where it cannot come out from that gum. The great yellow drops oozing out surrounded and at last covered them entirely. So oozing out means coming out. If you observe in this picture, the gum which is coming out from the trunk means the gum is oozing out, surrounded and at last covered them entirely. See, the gum has covered that insect completely inside it. Wind blown bits of moss, leaves, cones and little sticks too were soon stuck in the fast flowing gum. So the wind blown, when the wind blown, bits of moss, we have seen the ferny moss, the small leaves, acorns means the nuts of the oak tree. Nuts means the seeds, some kind of. So when the wind blows, bits of ferny moss and the leaves and acorns, cones and little sticks. Acorns means nuts and cones means they appear like this. And little sticks too were soon stuck in the fast flowing gum. So when the wind blows, all these bits of moss, leaves, acorns, cones and little sticks, they used to come and stick to the fast flowing gum. And very soon it used to surround that completely. As time went by, the gum hardened more and more and became amber. So as the time went by, that gum became hardened more and more and later it became amber. In those very old times, the land sometimes sank down into the sea, so deep that the water covered the very mountain tops. So in those old times, the land used to sank. Sank means sinking, children. Sank is the past form. So the land used to sink down into the sea, it seems, where the water was the very mountain tops, means till the tip of the mountain, water used to cover the mountain. Several centuries. 1 century makes 100 years. So after several centuries, the land was slowly lifted up again After several centuries, the land was slowly lifted up again. Lifted up means no one comes and lifts the land up. Slowly, those mountain tops started coming out from the sea. The great forests of the north of Scotland, the oaks, the poplars, and the amber pines, sank into the deep sea. So, the great forests of the north of Scotland, the oaks, all the poplars, beeches, amber pines, all these sank into the deep sea, it seems. There, lying at the bottom of the ocean, the wood and the gum hardened like stone. So they all sank, all these pine trees where the gum was oozing out. And as the time went by, that gum hardened and became an amber, right? So as that pine tree was lying at the bottom of the ocean, the wood and the gum hardened like stone. Only the great storms could disturb them as they lay half buried in the sand. So, only when the great storms appears, then only it could disturb those trees. It could disturb those amber stones, which they lay half buried in the sand. When the great storm when the great storm occurs, they used to lay half buried in the sand. Half buried means half of the stone will be inside the sand and half will be out where we can see it. Something like this. Half is inside, the other part of the stone we can see like this. It was one of those great storms that had of amber closer to the shore, where Jennie's grandfather found it. So it was the great storms that brought the lump of amber closer to the shore. So just imagine how that great storm was, how much stronger that storm was, because all these stones, all these ambers were down deep inside the sea, right? Due to that great storm only, they came up where Jennie's grandfather found it. When he gave the necklace to his wife, he did not know that he was giving her a little piece of nature and that his granddaughter would wear it one day. So, that day, Jennie's grandfather didn't know that he is gifting a little piece of nature to his wife, and later his granddaughter would wear it one day. See, as we have discussed in our first class, that nature gives us many things, right? These amber beads are being carved from the gum, lump of amber. It was not created by anyone. It was created by the nature itself. Jennie's grandfather just carved the stone into the shape which his wife likes. According to her taste, he carved the stone very carefully, right? So he didn't know that one day his granddaughter that he is gifting the beautiful. If you see here in this page number 38, to save, the word to save. Here, he had worked very carefully to save the embedded insect or weed in each piece. So, I have underlined to save. What kind of verb is this, children? Yes, it is infinitive verb. So in this way, I want you to identify the types of verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. As I told you, you can find finite verbs just beside the noun or pronoun. Whereas non-finite verbs you can find elsewhere in the sentence, not required, not necessary that it is lying just beside the noun or pronoun. The finite verb changes according to the number, person and tense, whereas non-finite verb doesn't change according to the subject, right? Here the number and person means it's the subject. Try to identify and underline them and note down in your notebook. This is the worksheet which I have given you as a homework yesterday, right? So here are the answers. Underline the finite verbs and circle the non-finite verbs in these sentences. Look here. First one is already done for us. We planned to give away our old books to the library. Here, the finite verb is planned. The finite verb may change according to the subject. Here the subject is we, right? The second person. To give is a non-finite verb which doesn't change according to the subject. Second one, who is trying to call us at this hour? Here, what's the verb, children? Trying to call us, right? We can find two verbs. Here, trying will become your finite verb, whereas it changes according to the subject who. The subject who is a pronoun, right? To call us doesn't change because who is trying to call us at this hour? So whether the hour is present, past or future, whatever it is, the word doesn't change. So to call will become your non-finite verb. Third one, he enjoys cooking a meal for the family. Enjoys will become your finite verb and cooking will become your non-finite verb. Next, fourth one, we ran out to play in the park. Ran and to play, both are verbs. Ran changes according to the subject. Play doesn't change. To plus verb is infinitive verb, right? So ran will become your finite verb. To play will become your non-finite verb. Fifth one, trekking is a healthy outdoor sport. Here the word trekking, ing verb plus ing, is acting as a noun in the sentence. Which is good for outdoor sport? Trekking. Trekking is a healthy outdoor sport. So the word trekking will become your non-finite verb, which is a gerund. Just below that A bit you can find B. Use the verbs in capital letters to complete these sentences as shown. Here the first verb is given is improve. You need to use this verb in the sentences given. You need to use the verb in the correct form which is suitable to the sentence, whether it is continuous tense, whether it is present tense or past tense, whether it is infinitive verb or participles or gerund, whatever it is. You need to see which type of verb suits in the sentences. The first one is already done for us. The verb given is improve. I was ill, but I am now improving. So ing form. Now says that it is present. So the first one was present participle. B bit. He wants to improve his Hindi and is working hard at it. To improve, infinitive verb. Third one, her tennis improves every time she plays against someone better than her. Here, her tennis improves every time. So, it is present tense. Second one, the verb given is sell. A bit. We won't dash a house, but it is not easy. You need to choose the correct verb form to fill these sentences using the verb sell. The first one I'll tell you later, the rest of the sentences you need to fill. We want to sell a house, but it is not easy. To plus verb is non-finite verb, right? Which form of non-finite verb? Infinitive. So in this way, you need to fill the sentences. The third one is fly. The verb given is fly. You need to fill the sentences correctly using the verb fly. Fourth one is find. Fifth one, serve. So sentences correctly using finite and non-finite verbs, children. These you have to do in your English textbook, page number 41 and 42. You all know that we have different types of nouns like common noun, proper noun, abstract noun, concrete noun, countable, uncountable, collective noun, singular noun, plural noun. So today we are going to learn about compound nouns. These compound nouns are made of two nouns. Two nouns. If you see here in this picture, snow is a thing, ball is a thing, right? So if we add those two nouns, it makes a single noun, which is snow plus ball is snowball. Here two different nouns, when we join them, it became a single noun, that is snowball, which is called as a compound word. Next, star plus fish. Star is a thing, fish is an animal, right? So star plus fish means starfish. So two different nouns, when we join them, it gives us the output as the compound noun. In the same way, ear plus ring, earring, rain plus coat, raincoat, cat plus fish, catfish. All these are two different nouns. So what is a compound noun, children? A compound noun means two nouns have been combined to form these words, which are called as compound words. Two nouns are been combined to form these compound words. Let us try to identify few compound nouns from the sentences, like hillsides, hill plus side, hillsides. Next, sunlight. Yes. Next, seaweeds. So sea plus weeds. Sea is a noun, weeds is also a noun, right? So like this, try to identify the compound nouns also from the sentences, children. Here, if you observe, mountain tops. So all those are the compound nouns, compound words, right? Where two nouns are combined to form the compound word. So let us see here. Words in use about compound nouns. Look at these words: hillsides, mountain tops, granddaughter. So the words which are given above all are compound nouns. Means where two nouns have been combined to form each of these compound words. Here in A bit, you need to match the words given in column A with the column B. If you join the word from column A to column B, you will get a compound word, where you need to use that compound word to fill in these sentences. Let me tell you the first one, children. In column A, the words are lamp, fire, day, water, school, thunder. In column B, bottle, storm, teacher, shade, time, place. The first sentence: owls like to hunt in the dark. They usually sleep during the dash. So the first answer could be daytime. Since they hunt in the dark, they usually sleep during the daytime. So day is a noun, time is also a noun, right? So we combine both the nouns to form a compound word, which is called as compound noun. So the first answer will be daytime. So in the same way, you need to combine two nouns to make a compound noun which you need to use to fill in these sentences, children. Textbook page number 42 and 43, children, till 6th one. We have learnt about the structures, that is finite and non-finite verbs, and we have learned how to use the verbs in the sentences. And also we have learnt about the compound nouns, right children? Complete these worksheets in your textbook and send your work to me on my number. Thank you. Have a nice day.